I will put myself in the corner there. Yeah, there. Can you see me in the corner? All right, cool. All right, so here's the deal. I show Mac users how to, well, Mac users of all skill levels, by the way, to do more work in less time so they have more time for the things they love. And that's the long and the short of what I teach now. In this 1 hour, or actually in this 45-minute workshop, I'm going to show you 3 simple working smarter techniques. All right? Now, these techniques, I guarantee, will save you at least 15 minutes a day for the rest of your life. At least 15 minutes a day. You just do this, and I promise you will save at least 15 minutes a day for the rest of your life, absolutely free, every day. So, working smarter, this whole thing is unlike anything I've ever done before. For one thing, I'm a solopreneur, which means that I did the website, I do all of the promotional materials, I do all the marketing, I buy the ads, I do all of the sales, I do all of the technical support, and so, you know, with my other books, I finish them and they go away and I'm done. With this, I've made a commitment to make this something that will be around for a while. So here's the thing, I guarantee I can show you how to finish just about any task on your Mac better, faster, and more elegantly than you used to, and I can save you countless wasted hours. You may be wondering if Working Smarter is for you. I think Working Smarter is for Mac users of any skill level who want to be more efficient, who want to manage their time and activities better, and or procrastinate less. If you make your living sitting in front of a Mac like I do, I guarantee 100% you're going to benefit from the Working Smarter method. You'll learn to do more work in less time, and you'll have more time to do the things you love. Working Smarter, you know, I didn't really give you the background, but the thing is, I found out a long time ago I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And so, hold on one second. Stop bothering me. Watch this. And I'm going to put you in Do Not Disturb too, just to... All right, where was I? Oh yes, here I am. So, well, here's the thing. I discovered about 20 years ago that I have this ADHD. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which made it really difficult for me to get my work done. And it used to take me until the wee hours of the morning every day. I worked until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, almost every night for years, thinking that that's what it took to finish my work. Then I found out I have ADD, and it was a big eye-opener, let's just say that. After a lot of research, I learned a lot about efficiency, managing your time, managing your activities within time, and using your time wisely, banish procrastination. I learned how to do all these things because before that, I didn't even know I was not operating at peak performance. I thought I was kicking it, you know? I thought I was killing it. It just took me longer than most people to do most tasks. And part of that was I couldn't keep my ass in the chair, and I addressed that in Working Smarter. If you can't stay put, you won't get any work done. So the result of using these three, of improving your performance in all three of these areas is that you're going to become a raging thunder lizard of productivity. You're going to work fewer hours, you're going to do more work in less time, and you are going to just be a lot happier. You know, I told you, I never missed a deadline in the past, but I worked until midnight, 1 o'clock every night, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I was, after dinner, it was a good 3 or 4 hours in the office just to get caught up. And I didn't make much progress. My to-do list got longer and longer, and I think I abandoned it when it hit 13 or 14 pages. And then about 20 years ago, I found out I have ADHD. My friend told me to read this book. I read the book, and so I did a lot of reading, a lot of research, and talked to a lot of people about paying attention and focus and things like that. And gosh, I learned so much. And the other thing that I learned, though, was there really aren't any, there weren't any books that I could find that addressed ADD for people who spend their day sitting in front of a Macintosh. You know, we have, I at least, I have a really short attention span. I have a propensity to be easily distracted, dive down rabbit holes when I should be working. And I know these things now, and I've addressed them, and it's not that big a deal. But before I knew about it, boy, I spent half my workday doing stuff that had nothing to do with getting my work done. And today, I you know, leave. I don't work after dinner. I'd say maybe one night a week. I go back in the office after dinner to finish some stuff, just because I, for some reason, wasn't as productive during the day as I should have been. Usually, I'm out of the office by 5 or 6 o'clock. I certainly don't go back in after dinner most nights. I try to be in the hot tub by 5 o'clock every night. So. And at the same time, get everything done that I need to get done in that workday. So we've got a little survey. If you click on where it says polls down there below, where is it? It's below, yeah, below the slide that you're looking at. What's your biggest frustration? So if you open up polls, you can vote, right? You got not knowing how to do something quickly or efficiently. Well, you'll see when you open it up. Now, there is one more thing. Before we move on to the cool Mac stuff, I want to let me compose myself a moment. No, I have one more thing before I get into all of these cool tricks and tips. I wanted you to know what you'll miss out on if you leave early. So if you leave early, you will miss out on all kinds of clever wordplay, attractive slides, interesting techniques and tips that will save you time and effort, and all kinds of stuff. But if you leave early, you miss out on the best offer I'm going to make on my online course or ebook to anybody, because you're here today at my workshop. You get the best deal. But it's only available at the end of this workshop. There's going to be a replay, but the replay will not include the offer. All right, that's all. Now let's get on to working smarter techniques. Ready? This is my first technique, snippets and why they rock. So what's a snippet? A snippet is a small bit of text that you can type that your Mac automatically turns into a larger piece of text. It could be a word, a paragraph, a sentence, a whole page. But when you type the trigger phrase, which is the snippet, as soon as you type a space or a punctuation mark, it expands into something bigger. I'll show you in a minute how that works. But snippets are faster, they're easier, and they're more accurate than typing it yourself. And so things that you type every day, boy, if you're not using snippets, you're probably making mistakes and wasting time. So anything you type more than a few times a day, your email address, or in my case, email addresses, your home or work address, your signature phrases or signature line, or anything else that you type all the time, your Mac will type it faster and more accurately than you if you make a snippet for that word, phrase, or sentence. Excuse me. Snippets will save you time and effort every time. And they prevent embarrassing typos, and that's really a big thing when you're typing your phone number or your address or your email address. You certainly don't want somebody to send an email to someone else because you had fat-fingered your typing. So snippets work on part one of this whole affair. They work on improving your efficiency because you're going to type anyway. If you can use technology to make your typing faster and better, then, well, certainly that's a good thing, isn't it? So here's how you do it. Here's the thing. I use a program called Text Expander, but you don't need to. You can do this for free. It's just a lot better with Text Expander. Let me show you how to do it for free. And if you're interested in Text Expander, send me an email and we'll talk. All right, now, launch System Preferences and click the keyboard icon. All right? Click the Text tab up at the top, and then click the little plus sign at the bottom, and that will open up two new things for you. the fields there, see? And what it is I've typed BW on the left and my address, bob@workingsmarterformacusers.com, on the right. So BW is the snippet, bob@workingsmarterformacusers.com is the expansion, and that's it. So it's done. Now you just close up System Preferences, and when I type the snippet, which of course is still BW, it was BW, it is BW, as soon as I type BW, when I press the space bar, it instantly expands into bob@workingsmarterformacusers.com. That's how many characters? I don't know, a couple of dozen. That's probably a minute of typing if I don't get it wrong, and even longer if I have to go back and change it, correct something. So think about that. Watch. How fast is that? Instant. All right, so here's a cool thing. A text expander, which I love, has a built-in thing that keeps track of how much time you've saved using text expander. So check this out. 12.08 hours across the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So 3 hours a month. That's almost an hour, 45 minutes a week that I didn't mistype words. I think that the benefit is much greater than that because of all the words I didn't go back and mistype when I typed them wrong. Anyway, 4 months, 12 hours. If you bill $150 an hour, you could say Text Expander found me $1,800 worth of billable time last quarter. So let me ask you another question. Ready? Which way do you want to do it? Hard way, easy way, snippets or no snippets? I mean, it's crazy not to at least do that for your email address and your phone number and your home address and your work address, things that you type all the time. Type your answers into chat so I can read them. All right? Now, next up. You still there? Yeah. Very cool. All right, next up, working smarter technique number 2 is take time to plan, and you'll get more work done. So a goal without a plan is just a wish. Excuse me for a minute. A goal without a plan is just a wish. When you take the time to plan, and I consider prioritizing part of planning, you'll find that you get more work done in less time. Just by the nature of having a plan that tells you what you need to do, you will get more done. It definitely will help. And the other thing is, you need to prioritize, so you need to identify your most important tasks. I identify usually 3 for each day. And that keeps me focused on what needs to be finished today, or what's important and needs to be moved along today. And you just have to know that to be efficient with the time you have allotted for working. So let me ask you, have you identified the most important tasks for every hour of your workday? I make a list like this almost every day. We're going to talk about this list a little more. But I got to tell you, if you have a plan, that's the whole worksheet. If you have a plan and you know what you're supposed to do at what time, I can see on there that I'm supposed to work on the course at a certain time. I'm supposed to, what else? I can't read it. It's too small on my screen for my old eyes, but that was a typical work day last year. And I do one of these every day. And I find that by having a plan and knowing exactly what needs doing today and, blocking out some time for each task, I pretty much finish by supper time every day instead of by midnight. A plan helps you manage your activities within time. So that's addressing leg 2 of working smarter. Managing your activities or planning. By the way, time management is a misnomer. People talk about time management. That's crazy. You can't manage time. Time ticks away at 1,440 minutes per day. Period. You can't manage that. You can manage what you do with the time. You can manage what you do, what activities take up your time, but you can't manage time. All right. Brief interlude here. This is a email from Guy Kawasaki, who says, no coincidence that the day after he read my book, he started working on his next book, and he'll finish it because of my book. He gets it, too. I mean, Guy Kawasaki knows a lot about using his Mac, but he gets it that there are a lot of things that he hadn't thought about that will make him more efficient when he's at the keyboard. Oh, by the way, you can download my productivity planning worksheet that I just showed you. It's called Super Plan. That's what I call it. It's free, and I will give you the URL, but not until the very end of this workshop because I don't want you to be distracted or leave. So I promise I'll give you a free productivity planning worksheet in addition to the best deal on the course and book at the end of the workshop, but not yet. All right, so download it when I tell you to. Okay, I'll put the slide up at the very end. All right, so now here's the thing. Are you going to try making a plan, or do you already make a plan? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump the mic. Type your answer into the chat thing and let me know. A plan, I think, is essential. I don't work. I don't go into the office and spend a day working, usually, without making a plan first. All right? All right, now let's move on to our third working smarter technique, which kind of goes hand in hand with the second one. It's called the Pomodoro. Do you do the Pomodoro? So here's the deal. I have some quotes here, and I can read these because I have them in my cheat notes. The hardest part of writing is keeping your ass in the chair. Wallace Stegner said that. The secret to writing a screenplay is keeping your ass in the chair. Oliver Stone, Academy Award-winning director, said that. Wallace Stegner's a novelist and essayist. And the secret to getting stuff done is keeping your ass in the chair. I said that. Now, part of my problem has always been almost anything can get me out of the chair to do something else, and I'm there before I even think I shouldn't have gotten up. So the Pomodoro technique, the Pomodoro technique, it's really cool, and it really does help me be focused and work in little sprints that work for me. So here's how it works. You set a timer for 25 or 20 minutes, whatever. They suggest 25 minutes, and that's my timers are 25 minutes. But you could do 20 if you're too antsy to do 25, or you could do 30 if you've got a little bit longer attention span. I don't think it matters that, I mean, 25 is probably optimal. So that's what I do. And what I do for those 25 minutes is I turn off all of my things that could interrupt me. So everything goes on Do Not Disturb, including my phone. Which goes into silent mode. I don't even want it buzzing. Then I set the timer for 25 minutes, and I do one thing and one thing only for 25 minutes straight. Absolutely one thing. If I'm interrupted, I have to stop and set the timer to 25 minutes and start the session over. So the phone doesn't ring. Well, hopefully the doorbell doesn't ring. Things like that. If you have to do something that you can't avoid, you can pause, do it, and come back. But it's not really, it's frowned upon because the idea is to be really focused on one thing and one thing only. So you don't say, I'm going to spend the next 25 minutes doing Mac stuff. You say, I'm going to clear my inbox, or I'm going to respond to 3 emails that need responding to in 25 minutes. You got to be really specific. So I manage this whole deal with an app, a Mac app called ZoneBox, and I like it because it fills the menu bar with purple in accordance with how far along in my session I am. It also puts the amount of time remaining on the screen and in the menu bar. So 13 minutes remaining, or a half full menu bar, means I've got about half of the Pomodoro session remaining, or 12 minutes and 30 seconds is half. So I'm a little past, no, I've got 13, I'm a little before halfway. So that's really, I love it. This app was $5 when I bought it, and it's free now. And it's really good for stacking up a bunch of Pomodoros that you're going to do today. Be very specific. All right. Oh, yeah, that's why it's called Pomodoro. The guy that invented it back in ancient times used a kitchen timer that looked like a tomato, and I think he was Italian, and Pomodoro is the word for tomato in Italian. So practice Pomodoro and you'll get more done and waste less time. So Pomodoro sessions work on part 3, avoiding procrastination, okay? Now, they also help you keep your ass in the chair and avoid procrastination. Did I say that already? Yeah, I did. But when you put them together with time blocking, when you make a plan and use Pomodoros, it's a game changer. Look at this, one of my students, a game changer. It's really powerful and it works. So if you can just change the way you work a little bit, you will, in a very short time, go from, you know, wasting a good part of every day to finishing a lot more work in a lot shorter time. Are you ready to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity? Type your answer in the chat box. I'm curious. All right. I have another question for you. Why are you here today? Again, in the chat box so I can see it. Thank you. All right. So are you as efficient as you want to be when you use your Mac? Are you spending too much time working and not enough time doing all the stuff you love? Are you ready to banish procrastination from your life forever? And the big question, wouldn't you love to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity? I just like that graphic. All right, so here's the thing. At this point, you probably are asking, what can I do to get those results? I know you're not really thinking that, but you know, it's called a transition. So you have 2 options. There's the old slow way and there's the new fast way, and I'd like to introduce you to the new fast way. It's called Working Smarter for Mac users, but you knew that. It's an online course. It's an ebook, and it's for everybody, all of you. Did I say everything? Yeah. Well, anyway, because nobody is here and we're 27 minutes in, and the offer that I created for this session is the beta test offer, I'm just going to make the executive call that we're done, and we'll be back next week with more. And I just want to kind of see how the recording came out and things like that, okay? All right, then. I guess let's, I got one more thing for you, though. It's in here. Hold on. There it is. You ready?